my fan spinning right now. Hey there, it's Nick Roush, that's Adam Luckett. This is another KSR Rapid Reaction brought to you by Friends of Cole and the loud machine behind me. I don't really know what it's doing, but I do know that...
Cutting grass. So let's what a grass machine makes.
They're not cutting grass, they're blowing the grass. I don't really know how it works per se, but I do know that Friends of Cole, they're there for you at friendsofcoleky.org. Cole is resilient, reliable, economic engine for the past and the future of Kentucky. Shout out Friends of Cole, sponsors of Rapid Reactions this fall. Mr. Luckett, we got to witness another loss to South Carolina. The Cats have now done it 4 times in a row. There's a lot of bad, ugly streaks, but today it extended 35-13 loss to the Cocks, where, I mean, the worst part about this, Luckett, is that it's the least amount of nuance you can apply to analysis of a game. They had back-to-back defensive touchdowns in 3 plays. Ball game.
Yeah, I think the whole goal really for Kentucky was to build a team that could win games in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't even get to the fourth quarter here. To me, the story of the game was over in the second quarter. You cannot have the turnovers they had. To me, part of this whole game was protect your young quarterback on the road making his first start. And I don't mean just protection. I just mean from play calling, from situations. Don't ask him to do too much. And then it just kind of got away from them, and you saw what happened. And then on the other side, Sellers was really good, and they really didn't have an answer for him. He made stuff happen when they needed it to happen. And now Kentucky's in a situation now, Nick, where this is the disaster scenario is on the table.
Well, it was one of those two. You talked about keeping Cutter out of those situations, protecting him. You could feel how important that 3rd and 7 was, because Kentucky starts hot. They did something that I really don't recall the last time, Mr. Luckett, this happened, where Kentucky won a coin toss. They elected to receive. They drove right down, ran the ball the whole way down. There was a pitch pass to Kendrick Law, but that might as well be a run. They take a 7-0 lead. They could have had a really commanding lead, but Sellers makes some plays on 4th, 3rd down, converts, keeps the drive alive. They kick a field goal. They're up 10-7. They've got the ball near midfield, 3rd and 7. All right, this is one of those plays, Cutter. We need you to be A+ good. And if not, just avoid disaster. You pin them back.
A punt's a win there at that point in the game.
Yeah, you're playing the field position game.
Yeah, that point in the game. If you punt there, it's probably, Nick, if you just punt there, it probably goes into the fourth quarter as a one-possession game.
And the worst part of it, too, is that, yes, they did bring an extra guy, but they brought an extra guy just to get everybody to not pay attention to their best pass rusher, Dylan Stewart. They run a little twist, and he shoots right up the gut, completely untouched, tees off on Boley. And then the other part, too, Luckett, that's even worse about all this, what are we talking about if Shiaz Pete just falls on it? I mean, he's right there, and he just can't. They could just...
Yeah.
Ah!
And then adversity hits, they don't really respond well. And then the offense, you had 2 really good drives, and then it was just a bunch of crap for the rest of the game. Like, I think they averaged 2 yards per play after that, after the fumble.
The drive chart is kind of funny. It's like touchdown, field goal, turnover, and downs, turnover. I mean, it was just a mess. So, Nick,
as the game played out, in my mind, I went back to what we talked about all offseason. Is this roster good enough? Like, at the end of the day, it feels like that. Like we talked about star power, but just overall, is the roster good enough for them to win football games?
Well, Stoops kept saying he's confident. I know this team is better. We're confident. But here's the issue: where the offense stalled out is South Carolina. They just started blitzing their asses off on first down. Right? They were bringing safeties, corners. They were hitting right in the running gaps Kentucky was trying to attack. And it was getting them in those 3rd down situations, and they just couldn't do anything with it. Part of it's because you're playing this freshman, and the other part of it is when they're trying to take shots downfield like they did on that first drive, like the receivers are just getting bullied by the cornerbacks.
How many times have we heard Mark Stoops talk about just can't get in predictable down and pass because then we're screwed if it's 3rd and 8. But you can't be screwed. Like, eventually you have to be able to have an offense that on 3rd and 8 that can convert. It can't just be like, well, sorry about it, guys.
Yep.
3rd and 9, punt the ball. Like, it just can't.
Get him with a quick kick.
It just can't be that. But to me, Nick, I think Stoops went back to his answer after the Louisville loss. And then on signing day was, don't worry, we're going to have a better football team. And so he goes out and says it, but what does that even really mean?
Well, because here's the thing is they actually might be marginally better, but it doesn't do you a damn lick of good. Like, you still might be 4 and 8. maybe 3-9.
Let's just talk about the reality of this situation.
Because it snowballed in a hurry.
Now, let's just say they take those two out. I don't think Kentucky wins that football game the way it played out. I don't think they could stop Sellers in a key moment. The offense wasn't good enough. They probably weren't winning that game.
Nope.
So the reality of the situation is this. You played what both results and what the perception tell us is that those were the two worst football teams in the league.
Yeah, maybe Arkansas is in that mix. Maybe Florida, but Florida plays defense. Yeah. Arkansas is Taylon Green. When you see the SEC...
You played a team in your tier tonight. That team is in your tier.
And they kicked your ass.
And they played teams in their tier last year, and they lost games just like that, essentially. Yep. And so the same thing keeps happening, and the quarterback switch didn't fix the problems like we thought it wouldn't.
Nope.
And so now you're sitting here, they're 2-2, and they've got to play 3 playoff teams in a row, and you just wonder, like, how, bad does the season get? They have improved in the running game. Seth McGowan is a dude. But other than that, it's just like, And then the defense, I think, again, you can't put too much on them, but it doesn't look like one of their better defenses they've had under Stoops to this point. And that is very worrisome with what we're seeing from this offense and the streaks. The streaks keep extending.
So let's talk about the streaks. It's hard to keep up with them all because there's so many bad ones. I mean, it's going to take me a while to get all the numbers correct, but I'm going to try my best to get all the numbers correct. 8 straight losses to power conference teams, and 11 out of their last 12, the only one being that Ole Miss win. Mm-hmm. Off bye weeks, Mark Stoops, not good off a bye week. Now 5-10 against SEC foes off a bye week, 2-13 against the spread in those games. So not only are they losing, they're getting their asses kicked. And look at the part that I wanted to bring up too, that you mentioned earlier, like the sort of, I don't want to say if it's necessarily the formula, but like if we get in predictable pass, we're kind of screwed, right? Like that's kind of who we are, but we got to get back to work and we're going to be better. That just like that.
No one wants to hear they're close.
No.
That was kind of the message in the post game.
Yeah, but it's not like
it's not going to get any easier. You're going to play a lot better teams in South Carolina. Now, South Carolina might bounce back, and Sellers is, I truly believe, one of the best quarterbacks they will face this season. But that's not why they lost tonight, and they are not going to win games 14-10, Nick.
No,
they're not going to win games 17-14. They're going to have to score some more points to win, and right now they can't score.
Well, that's the other streak, too. Bush Hamden's never had a team score 3 touchdowns against an SEC team.
Against any power conference team.
Oh, any power conference team.
So that's 11 games to start his tenure. 0 for 11. It's 2 offensive touchdowns or less.
It's not ideal.
And it's a lot of those had only included 1 offensive touchdown, like the game tonight.
I did get a little chuckle, though, when Seth McGowan scored and he threw the ball. He was trying to hit the bushes.
Yeah,
and he hit a guy in the front row, and he apologized after the game. But that was something.
And then Beamer owns them. And then Clayton White, South Carolina's defensive coordinator, he's done this against every Kentucky offensive coordinator.
Does he do it against other teams?
Not this good. And they've got 10 turnovers in the stadium in the last 3 games.
Yeah, so many turnovers. 9 turnovers in 10 quarters going back to the Louisville game against power conference opponents. But here's the thing. We're talking about the game now, and we're getting into the X's and O's and diving into the details and all this sort of stuff. But the bigger picture deal is this is going to get ugly. Because going into the season, you said you got to win either Ole Miss or South Carolina. You got one of those two to help people feel alive. And I know we don't like saying this, like, basketball season's coming around soon. Like that's going to be a real feeling because the fatigue, it's there, it's weighing on him. Stoops said something along the lines of like, we can't control the pass anymore. We just got to take one game at a time. And Brad White's like, you got to win 1 before you win 2. Where's the win coming from? Like, it's ugly tonight, and it's going to get uglier. Like, much, much uglier in a way that Kentucky football fans have not experienced in a very long time. When you see power rankings come out, Kentucky will be the 16th team in all of them. They went from a team that was a plucky middle of the tier, like they're a hard out.
That was pushing top 5 at a time.
And now they're
realistically in the league.
And now they're the worst team in the SEC, and it's undisputed. Undisputed worst team in the SEC. And how are they going to prove people wrong, different, otherwise? Like, I don't know. I don't have a good explanation. They say that, they were saying the right things in the locker room. They're not giving up. I didn't see a whole lot of quit. I saw Cutter get rattled. But, it's going to add up in there. They can keep fighting for a while, but everything around them, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get real ugly. So I'm sure you all know, but it's one of those things. Like we haven't dealt with this sort of. This is going to be some toxicity we haven't experienced since Joker was here 13 years ago. 14 years ago.
It feels like 0-8 in the league is the most likely record. They haven't gone 0-8 in the league since 2013. And then, Nick, how do you
What's
recover?
The reset button?
How do you recover if that happens? How do you recover from 1-15 over a 2-year stretch?
Joker didn't. Joker didn't even get that many losses. Many chances to have that many losses.
Yeah.
And then it's like, do you do the fire sale, fire everybody? Like, I mean, the other part
you get 50 new players again?
Yeah, because you can't just keep. Well, the offensive line was bad last year because of portal players, so let's go get more portal players. I mean, we talked about that in December, right? That sort of messaging. It doesn't.
The OL is better, but it's not in the top of the league.
It's just like, and that's the issue. Is like, you have to do something, like the definition of insanity, right? You got to do something different. Well, what different is going to happen? We've seen bad offense for 13 years.
Yeah.
How is anybody going to expect anything different otherwise? I mean, you just can't. And here's the crazy part, too, is like Bush Hamden did some cool stuff. Like they did that leak play to Willie Rodriguez. Great. He tried the flea flicker. But like you're having to do crazy stuff to get any sort of explosiveness. And it can't be that hard. But that's how bad this team is. They're bad.
The past game today was jet sweeps to Kendrick Law, and then the jumbo package sneak Willie Rodriguez out where you caught
South
Carolina off guard. You caught him on one.
That was it.
You got him on one. But that's it. That's what they're doing, and it's
not good enough.
It's not sustainable. Like there's nothing. Yeah. It's hard to even talk about because it's what do you do? And it's just they're just in a really bad place, Nick, and it's hard to see how they're in a hole, and it's hard to see how they climb out of this hole right now.
They're trying to dig out of a hole with more shovels, and it's only getting deeper. So we thought that we had exercised some demons on the way over here, even though we were stuck on I-40 for an hour and a half in Park. We actually stopped at the same gas station we got in a wreck last time. Thought we exercised some demons, even when a truck tried to run us off the road. It's like, hey, you know what? We're overcoming adversity. Let's see Kentucky overcome adversity. They did not. They got their teeth kicked in, and we're going to have to talk about probably more of these in the coming weeks. He's Adam Luckett. I'm Nick Roush. We'll have more on the KSR Football Podcast on Monday, on the website. We'll have personnel on Wednesday. Hey, steer into the skid because it's going to be a big one.